All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the interwebs and the book of faces and the grammars. Tonight's episode is brought to you by Rust-Oleum, 2 times ultra covered. Nah, just kidding. This stuff is pretty nice though, pretty awesome stuff. I mean, it hits everything and stuff, and because Rust-Oleum, you don't have to prep everything and everything stuff. So as you can see, I hit the frame areas and stuff like that. Where we were doing our work and stuff onto it. So as you saw from the other video, we had to call in the big guns and get the manufacturer rep out here to get this properly installed and stuff. But as you can see, it is all installed. So we got our boxed or tubular, whatever you want to call them, upper and lower control arms, and then the tubular Watts link bars are all in and as bolted all down and stuff as well too. Got the QA1 shocks in the back on it. They are non-adjustable. They're just kind of standard setup and stuff with it. So haven't done anything with the springs yet because I'm not sure which direction I'm going to go with this one. If I'm going to do just the like a Hodgkin style or something like that, or I know like on the stunt truck, the owner got I think some Mustang springs that are a lot lower and different style spring. They're a lot fatter, but they're also a lot shorter and stuff. So I don't know, might go that route, or like on the what was Pops and now is the Grinch. He has the Mustang ones that are adjustable. So I don't know. I'm not sure as of yet. Might leave this just as it is and see how it performs. I don't know. I mean, it's not bad to get to the springs after the fact because, of course, the bed is just pretty small and it's just going to have the wood slats coming across, and that we can get to pretty easily, I think, from down below and stuff onto it. Same with, well, the rear sway bar. I actually have a new one on the way. I've got a 1-inch rear sway bar that's actually coming from eBay. So not bad at all, like $175 from off of eBay, off one of those, not a private seller. Like they've all turned to stores. There we go. That's the terminology. That's the word I was looking for. It's late. Again, it's late and we're running Midnight Run Creations. That's why we're called what we are, and that's kind of what you have to do when you got customer trucks that you're working on all day long. Then to work on the shop rig, it's got to be at night after everything's all done and stuff, after dinner and whatnot. So anyway, that's the end of my life story. But yeah, so we got this stuff all done. It's nice. It goes in really, really well. It's not bad to do. The instructions say you're supposed to like do one piece at a time with it. So we experimented with this one since we had the factory rep here and just took everything apart on one side, and then got it all bolted in and stuff. And so look at, I'm vice grip. But yeah, so it actually worked out pretty well. Had to kind of push on some stuff a little bit because obviously things kind of swing out of tension or whatever when you have upper and lower control arm, shock, everything all done or pulled out and stuff onto it. So obviously didn't do, both sides pulled out at one time because that would be a lot of movement, I would assume. I don't know, maybe not. I mean, it's all in there pretty well, but that's what holds everything in place and stuff onto it. So, but yeah, I did one spot at a time. The worst part, honestly, is the Watts link bars, and that's only because the old ones catch on the diff lip right there on the inside. As you can see, there's not much space on those because they're a lot wider. And then same with, there goes the light. And then same on this side too. As you can see, there's not a lot of room. This clears okay. It kind of has to, nice thing is, it's easier to see from back here, kind of with the light glaring and shining. Let me pick this up. There we go, much better. But yeah, so this right here on the Watts link, it twists like this, so you're able to play with it while you get it all put in and stuff onto it, and then they just bolt in. That one's a pain because the spring is like, where is that? See, back there, right in the way. It's really sucky, stupid design. But anyway, it is what it is. So as I said before in one of the previous videos, everything's all painted and stuff. So we have the performance, the Duplicolor Performance Red on the exterior. Ooh, that looks it looks completely different than it does right now with me looking at it. So just so you're aware of. And then same with that too. Wow, that really shines on there. But yeah, so maybe I can catch both. Can I catch both? Yeah. So you can see that's got the same amount of light kind of onto it. Even the cab, yeah. So you can kind of from there, if I get all three kind of in there. Sorry about the weird angle of the camera. Sorry. But yeah, you can see the difference on the corner of the cab and the interior. So as I said, all exterior is the Duplicolor Performance Red, and then all the interior is the Apple Red, Rust-Oleum rattle can stuff onto it. So I did the same thing with the doors. Can't really see it now, but we'll go through and get things put back together as I did on the interior. If you noticed from a previous video, I just kind of went over it with just basically a single pass so that some of the darkness shows through onto it. So kind of semi finished up, semi not, because again, we're going to go full scuff and everything else on this outside. So this will be interesting and fun and stuff on it. So yeah. So that's pretty much, besides the 1-inch rear sway bar, like I said, springs, I don't know what I'm going to do right now with those. I can always do them later on. It's not a big deal to get up underneath it there and get that stuff taken care of onto it. So we got all the suspension components all hooked up and stuff onto it. Nothing on the brakes. I'm going to wait on the brakes. Same with the front. They make Andrew Peterson has a I'm gonna walk over here. Andrew has a kit for the front of this, and it's not just if you're putting something on a full Crown Vic chassis like this, but it's also if you're just swapping out this front cross member. I guess I've never really talked about that. Just as an FYI side note, on the 2003 and up Crown Vics, this whole thing here, the cross member actually unbolts. As you can see, there's two there, and this actually unbolts. And so anything that actually has the same or really close to frame width, you can bolt this up on there, kind of like what's done with the Mustang 2 front ends. This has the rack power assist. It also has a motor type of thingy on there as well too, so you can have that hooked up. Andrew makes a kit as well for that too, for the that actually changes from being like a hydraulic or a power thingy to being electric, full on electric assist. So actually I'll see in the link if I can link his website in, because he's got some, I mean, excuse my language, but Andrew has some badass stuff. It's ATP for Performance, or Andrew's Tuning and Performance. Just absolutely badass. It's where I got the tanks for everything that we're doing right now is from him. They're tanks and tanks, so technically you can get them from anywhere. But his comes with everything. So like for the Smurf truck, since we're doing the Holly kit, then he has everything. His tank with the fuel lines and all that kind of stuff with it. So, and this one has a Mustang tank, so we'll look at that later on, which has its own challengings. And in fact, I'll talk about Andrew more and his tanks and stuff when we get to that part on it. But yeah, this one, in fact, I think I might be using one of the tanks on this. I'm not sure yet. Either I'll use the S10 tank that goes right here. I guess technically I could use the Crown Vic one, but I don't know, it sits really weird. So I'll use the S10 tank, back here, or one of the tank sink, like the Suburban style tank back here onto it. And I want to keep it back here because it should give me a really awesome balance with the way I've situated everything else up with it. So we'll see with the way the engine tranny, I pushed it back and stuff. So that combined with the fuel tank being back here and stuff should give me a really nice balance on weight and stuff with it. So plus moving the engine back puts it right over top of the front end here. But yeah, anyway, like I was saying, this can be unbolted from the 2003 newer Crown Vic so that you can put it on the F100, the F250 frames. They bolt right up to it. Some of the guys, I can't remember the name, there's a couple of them that make the kits that for the Ford, for the truck frame, that kind of box this all in and stuff with it. They have the sleeves for in here because these bolts go through a sleeve on this Crown Vic frame. Actually, right inside of there's a sleeve, because otherwise you're kind of, you know, putting, especially with a truck one where it's just the C-channel frame, it needs to be boxed in and stuff for strength and everything on it. But yeah, that way you can have all of this, the benefits of this cool stuff. Power steering and all that kind of fun jazzy stuff. Also disc brakes up front, a more standard bolt pattern, 5 by 114.3, which obviously, as you can see, is the Mustang wheels, my wife's Mazda. There's just tons of stuff. Tons of aftermarket wheels have the 5 by 114.3, so that gives you that. The thing is, if you do that, then especially on your factory truck frame, then now you have a different rear end. So you can either get hubs that change it out if you want your rear end onto it, or you can actually take this Crown Vic rear end and put it on the truck frame, or an Explorer rear end, or obviously a Ford 9-inch rear end and stuff onto it. And in that case, you can do the Watts link onto it. You can do a 4-link onto it. You can do leaf springs. You can do coilovers. I mean, you can do whatever you want to. You can be super kick-ass and fancy and go with an IRS, independent rear suspension on it, from either like the Mustang, the S550, I think it is, or like a T-Bird rear end that's independent rear suspension. What else? I know there's some other ones. So like the T-Bird kind of styles, 90s ones. So it gives you the same bolt pattern as the front, and then also gives you some cool stuff. I mean, if you're not going to be really romping on it, then the Explorer, just standard axle, or the Crown Vic would be kind of cool. There's some really great videos online on how to build your own suspension stuff. It's really not that bad when you follow it. There's a really good guy that, if you look on YouTube, has some just kick-ass videos where he explains everything in detail, makes it really simple and stuff with it. Even does some like mini demonstrations with this little rear end thing that shows you how things pivot and move and stuff with it. So pretty cool. If I haven't said it before, this rear end, I mean, this part does suck because it does that. This obviously won't matter because the bed floor is going to be up there and the race truck and stuff. But I wanted to have some bed because I wanted to be a shop truck and stuff. Obviously, I'm not going to throw an engine in the back of this, but running and get parts and stuff like that, groceries or whatnot, would be kind of cool. So this does suck back here. But if you can transfer this over, and the reason we use this is it's freaking badass. I mean, this is a Watson suspension. This does not move. You can get really wild, really crazy, and you don't have that side to side, don't have that wrapping and stuff on the, like you do on the factory runs with, leaf springs and stuff like that with it. The Z-bar it keeps everything straight, and it wants to track straight, like I said before. So I'm looking, now that I've got GoPro and some other stuff, get somebody to follow me with the drone and stuff when we get this thing going, really show you what it is. It's why you can be so close on this inner fender well, on the lip that folds in this direction. You can be so close, I mean, look at hairs away from it. This one I can stick my hand in, and the other one you can do that too, depending on where you drop it down and stuff. But you can get it in there because you don't have that side to side movement, so it's not going to catch that inner fender well and stuff onto it. If you're really worried about it, either in this form or a custom thing like this, you can actually swap out the Crown Vic rear end. So this 03 and up are the ones we usually like to use, but the 02 and back actually have a narrower rear end, so it sits in a little better. Honestly, that probably would have been better to go with on this because I'm like dangerously close to the fender outer, even though I have gone with the nice cool bubble ones and stuff with it. It would have been really nice to get this in there, because right now with my static stance onto it, the fender sits to where I can't get these rear tires off there without lifting the bed off of it. So that's really going to suck if I get a flat or something like the road, or at a track event or something like that. So we'll just have to watch that kind of stuff. And if I'm going to do burnout contests, then obviously I'm going to have to change out tires first on it. But I mean, these are nice big meats. I wanted big meats on it, and I actually could have gone with bigger ones again had I gone with the older rear end where this all sits inboard a little bit more, so it would give me more space and stuff. But it is what it is. We just used the full chassis on this one. As I said before, went through and did this awesome cross bracing. This is way more than what I normally do on the trucks. We can do this much if you're gonna get into fancy stuff. As I said, I'm gonna do kind of a ladder bar that comes out here and comes all the way around and ties back into, because the frame goes bloop, like that. Whoops, goes like that there. So I'll tie in right here and have a ladder kind of go whoop and pops in, because again, I'm going to be romping on this thing and racing it and stuff. So but yeah, so I'll put the links to Andrew's stuff, as I said, because he's got a whole kit that actually swaps these over to 14-inch brakes on the fronts and rotors and stuff, which is really awesome. The other way to do it is you can actually change out to a Mustang GT500 rotor on it, and then I guess you use a what is it? GM, like a Corvette or GTO caliper on there. I've seen different deals depending on which oils and tires and stuff you use. Sometimes people have to shave them and stuff, so there's different things. Talk to Andrew about it. I talked to him a little bit. He said to him there wasn't as big an upgrade to doing this, like a benefit of it, of doing the GT500 and the Chevy caliper and all that kind of stuff for the money you're spending onto it, versus just, that's why he made his kit, because it's up there in price, but it's well worth it. Like I said, from dealing with him on a lot of the other stuff, he is just awesome at what he does. So I'll put a link to his website in the comments on this, so you guys can go check his stuff out. Of course, I said before, Kyle from Outcast Auto Works provided me the motor mounts. So on this too, which he has the motor mounts for this Crown Vic front end. So if you want to put this back in your Ford and you want to keep your 360 or whatever, 460 or whatever you want inside of it, Kyle with Outcast Auto Works has the engine mounts that go onto here that put anything, literally. An LS, I know I said it, that's what I'm doing with this one, obviously. Put an LS, the Coyote, the Godzilla motor thing and stuff, just everything. Kyle can do that for you. So pretty sweet, pretty rad. So got everything done on the rear, still have on the front, which I'm going to get it done before I try to get the front clip and everything on, because it's a pain in the ass to do it with that all in there. We have coilover kit, the same one that's on the stunt truck I got for this truck as well too. So it'll be the adjustable coilovers on the front of it. So that'll be cool because we can drop it, push it down. So, and that'll kind of dictate too on what I'm going to do with the springs on the back of this. We'll see how it all sets. If it sets really weird, because some of these, this ass end sits like way up there, like looking all funky, raked style, with a butt sticking up in the air like a dung beetle or something like that. So some rigs it looks kind of cool, some it doesn't. This might be okay with it. So, and we'll see. Like I said, I think I'm going to wait on the brake upgrades on this thing. Unless I can strike a deal with Andrew on it. I think I might wait, see how it all runs the way it is, and then kind of go from there on it too. I've still got to figure out some stuff for the brakes. Excuse me, but that's yet to come onto it. So everything's painted. So now it's time to assembly. So I'll get the coilovers done, and then it'll be time to, I gotta fix that, put the front end back on and stuff, and start getting things back together. The glass is going to be a royal pain in the positivity to keep things family friendly. It's all flat glass, but it's a pain, as with anything. It's all back order issue and stuff, unless I can find somebody local that can cut the glass for me, which would be sweet. So anyway, that's what we got going on. So that's ready. So the bed will go back on. Gotta put the fenders on first, because as I said, it's just a pain to put them on with. So we'll get that all lowered on with my cool hoist, because the other ones are occupied in the other bays. So we're here. But yeah, so that's what we got going on with the Dodge. I like it. Had I thought forward, honestly, on the color of the truck, I would have went with the red ones, because you can get them in, I can get a hold of them, the guy can get a hold of them from, get them in blue, red, black, orange, and silver. Yeah, red, white, blue, black, orange, silver is what you can get them in. So pretty cool stuff. But yeah, so if you're interested in that stuff for your Crown Vic, either swap or even just you're using this Crown Vic setup and stuff on this, then hit me up. Or if you want to build something like this, or if you want to build stuff like this, let me know. I'm happy to build it. This stuff is fun, and I'm rocking and rolling, and we're building hot rods here. So gonna do full sound deadening on the inside on this thing, because it's hot and it's a can, as I've said before. So anyway, so we got going on. Laters.